Your questions about business, career, personal development, and achieving the American dream are more than welcome. Call 855 Makin It, 855-625-4648. Now, back to more Makin It with Tommy and Todd.
We're back with Tommy and Todd, coast to coast, and it is time for the Doubt Whisperer.
The Doubt Whisperer, Tommy Runfola.
Did you know that people who suffer from self-doubt are at increased risk for anxiety, depression, emotional instability, divorce, procrastination, underachievement, lack of motivation, even suicide? Wow, that's scary. So what are we to do if we suffer from self-doubt and low self-esteem? Oftentimes, this is an issue rooted deep in our childhood psyche. Solutions? Well, of course, there's always psychotherapy or cognitive behavioral therapy or years on the psychiatrist's couch trying to figure it all out. But here's a simple and inexpensive strategy for those who suffer from self-doubt. Start focusing on the present moment rather than past failures. Focus on positive thoughts and affirmations and spend time with people who are positive and supportive. Change your behavior and you change your outcome. For more great content on overcoming doubt and winning in life, insights, inspiration, and products, go to TommyRunfola.com.
Another great Doubt Whisperer segment by Tommy. Thank you.
Well, thank you.
That was awesome. Yes. I'm liking those.
Well, you know, it's one of America's greatest problems that doesn't get addressed.
Absolutely.
I mean, there are divorces, there are bankruptcies, there are books that don't get written, movies that don't get made because of doubt.
Right. I'm glad you're tackling it head on.
Absolutely.
Yeah. All right. It's time for the final part of our show today, Making It or Breaking It. And today we're discussing one of my personal hothead topics, outsourcing work versus hiring employees. Now, let me pick one thing to talk about on this topic on a more positive note. And let me say that I like to outsource as a way to vet people to see if I might want to hire them. And by that, I don't mean use outsourcers to then steal them from the outsourcing company. I think there's a part of your business that, you know, if you decide outsourcing is right for you, you go to an outsourcing company, you completely hand that off to them and then just have somebody manage over the details. But I like to use outsourcing of projects almost to give people multiple interviews of actually doing work and completing projects for me.
Like a web designer or something like that? Exactly,
as part of a very, very long drawn-out hiring process because I've been burned way too many times.
Yes.
That's very, you know, I always thought why people don't take more advice and guidance on hiring people from the military.
Yeah.
From the military, from professional sports, from the entertainment world.
Right.
Because they are so serious about who they cast in a movie, what branch of the military you get in.
It's all about performance.
And if you're going to be paid to be on the team.
Yeah.
And there is a huge vetting process.
Yes.
I mean, even Microsoft, I mean, they make you take IQ tests.
Right.
And, you know, you go through this long process. I mean, a lot of these big companies, I mean, they take you through the ringer before they hire you.
Yeah.
And so I think what you're saying is it should be standard practice, but a lot of companies find themselves under the gun and they need somebody now. And so they just take what they can get.
Right.
And on a
then they
side
end up regretting
note,
it.
I hate being in that position, do everything to avoid that personally, and then would prefer to hire people on in an outsourced manner. If I'm in that position where I'm under the gun, I would prefer to use the option of outsourcing versus make a bad hire.
Yeah. Todd, do you think there are any businesses that by their very nature do not lend themselves to outsourcing or just the opposite, that do lend themselves to outsourcing because of the type of business they are?
Well, I think if you are in the business of selling products online,
yes,
I think that lends itself to outsourcing a lot.
How about service occupations? Do they lend themselves, the service industry lend themselves to outsourcing?
I think they lend themselves to employees.
I agree.
Because what happens is, when you do the thing where you are saying, I'm just going to hire subcontractors and I'll say I'll do the work, it's a different mentality that, they're not going to be your employees, so they're not going to move necessarily on your timelines and be within your culture and the way you do things, and so it kind of gets confusing.
Well, and if you're providing a service, say you have a painting company or something, if you're outsourcing the work, there's nothing that brings any loyalty to the to the outsourcer.
And
quick
to your
fact
system.
here: when it comes to outsourcing, one of my friends was a VP of logistics, and she said that when you keep everything in-house, you want to keep everything in-house and do it yourself when your company's evolving and changing and developing their processes and innovating.
Yes.
And then after you have everything set and you've moved forward with that innovation, then it's easier to outsource and you can have somebody else just kind of carry out those procedures. But when you're in an innovation process, that's usually when you want to bring something in-house, or at least keep it in-house until you get it more standardized and it's not something you're changing and evolving anymore.
Yeah,
Right.
and you want to establish your brand, and that has to be involving you and your in-house employees.
Right.
Good show. You've been listening to Making It with Tommy and Todd, coast to coast.
Check us out on our website, makinitnow.com. You can pick up our Facebook, our Twitter feed, our Instagram, and also watch us on the green screen on all the behind the scenes show segments and clips.
Thanks for joining us, America, and keep making it.
This has been Making It, the source for information, insights, interviews, and in-the-trench advice for startups, struggling, and early-stage entrepreneurs and business owners nationwide.
The opinions expressed on this program are those of the host, guests, and callers, and not necessarily those of this station, staff, management, or advertisers.
For more information, contact Tommy or Todd at 855-MAKIN-IT. That's 855-625-4648. Or at their email address, info@makinitnow.com. Thank you for listening to Making It.